Today's matchup is international relations versus political science. This is UCalgary Feud.
My name is Tori Isles, and I am a second-year international relations major.
My name is Manuha Kaneru, and I am majoring in political science.
Poli-sci maybe it's just like, oh, they like arguing, like they're really opinionated. They maybe think they're more important than they actually are. It's like, sure, you're going to law school, but like, are you really that cool?
I think international relations majors are like basically poli-sci majors, but they just like want to feel so much more mysterious, and they don't actually do much to feel mysterious. So they're like basically the same thing, but they don't do very much.
Manuha, oh, she's great. She's a pretty good debater, so, you know, a little worried, but I think I should be fine.
Tori, I think, is a sweetheart. I think she's very, very sweet and very nice. But as an IR major, I don't think that she, really understands that IR is just a branch of poli-sci and that she's not like a very different individual for majoring in IR.
My name is Liba Nasser. I'm a community rehabilitation and disability studies major, and I'm going to be hosting tonight. I think poli-sci majors and IR majors both have an inability to act on anything. They have a very theoretical framework for how the world works, and then both of them are absolutely useless. So I'm excited to see who's going to be a little less useless today. The first question is, which major is more stressed?
Okay, I'll go first on this one. I definitely say IR is a lot more stressed because we have like a broader range of topics that we need to take classes in. For example, you need to take like, in addition to all your other courses, we also have a language requirement. So you have to take language courses in a language other than English. And so, learning a new language, like that's really stressful, especially like if you're not really getting it, you're kind of like slow. Like it can definitely be like a bit of a challenge, especially with all of like the different topics we need to cover, and also in addition to the papers and the research we need to be writing for our other classes. So while poli-sci might have some, topic-heavy courses, like it just doesn't compare.
Okay, I completely heavily disagree on this one. I think poli-sci is way more stressed out because I think poli-sci in general is way, like you're getting to the root of the real policies and the real like governmental, policies and things like that, rather than just like focusing on trade-off arguments or like things like that. So I think poli-sci is, you have a lot more to look at, a lot more research that you're then doing, a lot more papers that you're doing about not just historical events that are happening, but also events that you're then predicting for the future.
Point to international relations, I'm bored. The next question is, which major has more fun?
I would say poli-sci for sure. We make so many good connections through political science. We go to like the Den networking events where you like meet a bunch of people, you watch like politics together, you make fun of politics together. You're able to like meet up with so many new people. You're able to like connect with more people through debate and like a lot of activities that are more heavy on that side. So I would 100% say poli-sci majors.
Damn, it's almost like IR majors can't do the exact same thing. We also can go and have these discussions at the Den in addition
but like,
to,
what
and
are you
if,
talking about? Like,
if
which
your
country
point,
is agreeing with what other country now?
Like you said before, if you heavily disagree that international relations is more stressful, that means that automatically we have more time to have fun.
No, but we are able to make more connections.
Think we have more fun.
But we're able to make more connections through our stress. Whereas I think, what are you guys talking about? Like, oh, what's our language classes like next assignment? Like, oh my God, so interesting.
Damn, like, okay, we're not just language courses. We also have to take some poli-sci courses, but we're not only taking poli-sci courses. Like, again, it's just, you said it yourself. Like, you guys have a lot more stress in your lives.
But like, you guys aren't even politics heavy, whereas we like focus on government and like specific and like political campaigns where we then make connections.
How is any of this fun?
Do you?
True.
Okay,
true.
as someone in debate, do you not agree that we all go to the Den multiple times a day and we watch the news and we have very fun?
That's because of our alcoholism.
Which is an added bonus.
Point to international relations. So you're both in very political majors. Tell me, what would your first act as Prime Minister be?
Okay, my first act as Prime Minister would be to begin a nationwide like commuter train system, you know, so that we're better able to like travel the country. You know, it's more affordable, more like comfortable probably than taking a bus. I can attest to that because I have taken a 14-hour bus ride from Vancouver to Calgary, and it was not very fun. So I think having a train that would really just connect the whole country would be amazing.
So this has already been in the works for quite some time. I don't really think that this is like very specifically something that Tory can achieve only if she's Prime Minister. I think one of my first things that I would do as Prime Minister, though, is focus on the teacher strike in Alberta and focus on like exactly how this affects students. Because I know that so many students are now like not able to go to school and they're not able to learn. And I think the root of every single problem comes from lack of education. And I
Transportation and education are both provincial issues.
No, but it's cross Canada.
It's
That's
cross
what I mean.
Canada.
They're under provincial jurisdiction.
That being
So
said,
what are you going to do as Mark Carney?
No, I'd be doing it as Tory Isles, as Prime Minister Tory Isles.
yeah, there's no Mark Carney in this
Yeah.
situation.
No, but it's provincial affairs.
No, but like,
Yes, education and transportation are funded and decided on by legislation made in the provincial
Okay,
government.
but this is a hypothetical. Why can't we just have
Okay,
a
well, you're hypothetically bad at this.
okay, well, you're hypothetically bad at hosting, but no one said anything.
Point to neither. Point to neither. Zill, point to Liba. I'm a good host. The next question is, which major has more job prospects?
I would definitely say political science because there's so much you can do in that field, not just in terms of like going into law school or like going into like policy adjustments, but you can also like work in pretty much any governmental field. Whereas I think in IR, you're more like focused on trade agreements or things like that, which I don't really think is very interesting.
Okay, absolutely. Okay.
And I also
See, clearly she doesn't understand anything about how how IR works, because IR has 3 different subsections or thematic clusters.
IR is a branch of political science. Let me say that right now.
It's under the poli-sci department, sure, but we are the younger, cooler brother of poli-sci.
The younger, cooler brother is kind of insane to say when you literally don't get to the root of any actual problems.
Okay, and what problems are you solving?
Not necessarily me specifically, but the major of poli-sci. The major of poli-sci is able to understand like historical trends of politics and where politics is now headed, which I think is very important for the future, which IR does not touch on at all.
How would you know you're not in IR? Like
Okay. Tell me what you're touching on.
Well, first off, we're touching on obviously like various theories, which of course poli-sci does too, theories of international relations, but then we also get to like hands-on experiences. Like in my French class, we're doing learning by experience. So I'm actually going out into the world and using my French language skills to like make an impact on the local community.
Would you not agree that this is just basically model UN for like adults? Like, is this I don't really see a career.
Aren't you both in retail?
What? No. Okay, I'm
Part-time, but I
okay,
also work as a shadow assistant.
actually,
for an MLA.
I'm a woman in the trades, so I think that's pretty cool. But obviously that's not what I want to do for my whole life. I'm not planning on being a line cook for the rest of my career. What I want to do is like obviously, like there's a lot of government positions that are available with IR. Because what do you need to work in the Canadian government? You need to know how to speak French. And
Which poli-sci also teaches you. You are also required to
Speak French right now.
Bonjour.
Boom!
Okay. Well, I don't think, okay, but it's like the same problem. Like we're both like, oh, I get jobs in the government, but like who provides you with a wider understanding of the world instead of just based on policies? We cover like strategic, like, okay, so what I was saying before about the different aspects of poli-sci, I keep saying poli-sci, it's IR. Different parts
She's
of IR.
basically admitting that poli-sci is better.
No, she's putting words in my mouth.
Point to poli-sci. The next question is, why should someone join your major?
Okay.
Convince me right now.
Okay, Liba, I think you should join international relations because we just have a lot of fun over here. We talk about a lot of different things. We look at a lot of different problems, and there's just a lot of flexibility in this degree to really explore what you want to do. Like how a lot of our degree is options. You can really just like build out your experience and kind of create like a well-rounded person as you enter the workforce.
So this is extremely symmetric on both sides, and in fact I would say you get more options in political science because you're able to do so much more with this degree rather than just focusing on like a very
But what is
part of
Intro to
the program.
Dinosaurs going to get me? I can take it 5 times. What am I going to do after
Okay,
that?
I've first of all never taken an Intro to Dinosaurs class, but I would say that political science kind of gives you, it also has the same amount of options as international relations. I think you're able to actually get more because you're forced to take a science requirement, and for LIBA specifically,
Okay.
I think that this is very, very
You also
good.
need to take a science requirement in IR. Like,
That is true, but I think in terms of political science though, you're able to branch out so much more with like politics as a whole rather than just like a branch of politics, right?
Point to political science, but I will not be switching majors. The next question is your major oversaturated?
oh, absolutely
Absolutely
not.
not. In
Okay.
either, I think in either
Yeah.
realm, actually.
Okay. The main thing I remember from orientation was that, like, you know, they call everyone up by order after like they do their whole presentation in the gym. You know, it's like poli-sci students get up, like they left. IR students get up. There weren't very many of us, and then psychology students get up, half the room. Okay, so if we're talking about oversaturated, psychology like takes the trophy for sure.
Yeah, I would say psychology or like anything like in the sciences, so like computer science or engineering, I would say for sure. In terms of poli-sci kids, there's actually very few people that I've met, even in my poli-sci classes, that are actual political science majors. They just take it for fun and they're like data science majors or something, so I would say definitely not.
No, it's definitely like kind of narrowing down. I've noticed like in second year, like I see the same like 3 people in all my classes.
same.
So yeah, there definitely aren't as many of us as some people might think. Especially, okay, even in comparison to poli-sci, I think like there's.
I think it's because IR is such a small branch compared to
I-
political science.
Point to IR. At the end of this feud, do you have any closing remarks for our audience?
I think our host is clearly biased and kind of a bum. But no, overall, I have tons of respect for IR majors. I think that they are very, very, I think they are a lot less saturated than poli-sci majors for sure, and that they have completely, like relatively a different gear towards something that we don't learn much about in poli-sci, and I think it's very respectable.
Oh, I really appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, like when I talk to people about IR, like a lot of the time, like they don't really know what that is because like the more popular one is definitely poli-sci. But I think that IR has like a lot of value as a major. And like even before I like started looking into universities, like I had no clue it was a thing. And then when I found it, I was like, wow, like this is really what I want to do for the rest of my life. Just because, yeah, there's just so many like different avenues you can take, and it's just very interesting as a whole. So yeah, I think that IR is pretty cool. Yeah, and poli-sci also is like obviously has a lot of value in society and in the world. So yeah.
At the end of this feud, there must be a winner. Would both contestants please step forward? Today's winner is International Relations.
Not allowed.
What happened to all your wholesome moments? Give each other a hug. Aww, so sweet.
You don't get a hug.
Go get on the floor. Pour the candy over her head. Wow, very cinematic. So awesome.